Welcome back to another episode of the Bro Monroe Show, hosted by El Paso's funniest bros. Please enjoy and don't be a weenie.
Is this you?
No, I appreciate it.
Is that you?
Yeah, it's my second one.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Are you carrying my beers now?
No, I'm just saying so I could give it to you.
Just kidding. Welcome to another edition of the Bro Monroe Show, where they count your beers.
Shut the hell up.
I'm one of your hosts, Milo, John Gotti Maserati, and that's it. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ray Ruckus. Man, it feels good to be up here in the afternoon. It's different. It's a little warm, but I like it. Yeah, what's up? We have some special guests, special guest hosts this week as well over here because Drew's out of town right now. Our boy Drew's out of town.
Where'd you go?
He went to go see the Dallas Cowboys beat the oh my God! Never mind. We're watching it live, I guess, and he's like getting the ass whooped. 17-3.
I have a couple of parlays on this. That's why I'm watching.
No wonder y'all cheering. You're like, yes, keep going. Dude, that's terrible.
Well, I have CD Lamb. I have the over on CD Lamb and the over on Dak Prescott.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah. Yeah. So if you want to introduce yourself, and then we can get into our special guest.
Well, my name's Steven Puga. I'm glad to be back. I think this is my third time on.
Third time
on the show.
Yeah, right.
Local host at the comic strip. Now I guess you can say I'm starting to travel here and there for stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah.
Let's get to the man of the hour, man. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. If you want to introduce yourself,
Hello. I'm not George Lopez. No, hey guys, I'm Jerry Medina. How you doing? One of the original Latin Kings of comedy.
Yes, sir.
We shot right here in El Paso, Texas, which is it's always going to be a special place for me.
Awesome. Thank you for blessing us. Thank you for coming to El Paso. And thank you for always coming through, man. It's awesome when you give one of these real quick.
Thank you so much, man. That was at the Abraham Chavez, right?
Yeah. That's where we did it, and it was we were here for a whole week, and we were doing promotions. We did all kinds of things, like little pre-videos and all that stuff, and then we actually went to the children's hospital to just meet the kids and stuff. And each one of us took time, like a turn to go to. Oh, we got to go to the bathroom just to cry our eyes out, and then to come back, because these poor little kids, man, walking around with an IV, shaved heads because of their, being in chemo, actually, right? And a lot of them were terminally ill, man, and it was just heartbreaking, which is weird, doing a comedy special and then dealing or meeting children that are, terminally ill. It just brings you to perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds really humbling, man.
That was when, back in the late 90s, early 2000s. When was that?
I think it was like 2000,
2000, right? 2002,
maybe
2003. Yeah, right. And so that was before even the children's hospital was around. That's crazy.
It's funny. I know I told this story on KLAQ the other day when there's some dude, and this is how iconic that comedy special is that Joey's on. People still, every time he comes into El Paso, people bring the DVD for him to sign it.
Dude, I saw it. I saw it on Thursday. Yeah. Some dude came in and you were saying, I was like, what the hell?
And sometimes it's a blank DVD and it's bootlegged. And I'm like,
Del swap.
I know, I always sign it. You owe me $20, Joey Medina.
That's awesome. No, but yeah, you got down on Thursday, man. I was out there. We were supporting. You guys got down with all the stuff, the fresh material that I was watching. I mean, it was a great, thing. Great turnout for a Thursday, I would say.
Yeah.
That crowd was pretty turned up.
I have like this running joke with all the hosts at the comic strip because there's like 6 or 7 of us and we all take turns. And for some reason, like I always get the shitty Thursdays, bro. Like it never fails, man. Like Stretch will get a good Thursday. Tony C will get a good Thursday. Julian Luetta would get an awesome Thursday. And I think when I host, it's maybe 15 people. On Thursday, there had to be Thursday it was almost full. The room was almost full. So
yeah.
The people were out there ready to party. It was a good
I think
time.
Thursday was actually so far our best show, our best crowd.
I think
so.
so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Even better than Friday and Saturday? Wow.
Yeah, yesterday we had the second show yesterday wasn't bad. Oh no, we only had
we had 2 shows
yesterday.
Was 2.
Second show yesterday wasn't bad. But Thursday was I still think it's one of my favorite shows of the week anyway.
That's awesome. That's cool, huh? I'm glad that I was in the crowd.
There you go, yeah.
Otherwise,
if you would have been to like a shitty show, you'd be like, nah, we could cancel Joey.
We would have canceled Joey, bro.
We don't
you're an OG, bro. You're a legend, and that's why we...
You're literally an OG, man.
Yeah, you're an OG. You're a veterano, man.
Way.
Now, so that's why we wanted to have you on here and just have the OG presence on here. Awesome. I wanted to ask you, like we typically do all of our guests, come ready with a party story, wild story, anything you want to do is icebreaker. Just as long as you can change names, but it's got to be real. And I mean, you could have say your brother heard it and told you about it. You could say that story too. Anything wild like that. I'm pretty sure you got a few.
I have. So you want a comedy story? You want a life story? What? Because I've lived a long time, so I've got a lot of stories.
Let's start with life, and then we can get into comedy story. Can we do 2?
Yeah,
Huh? Let's do that.
Well, life stories. Let's see. The first road threesome I ever had was here in El Paso. So,
Dude, you did talk about that on Thursday.
Yeah. So that's not
let's talk about
secret.
that. Let's talk about that.
That was fun. It just crazily happened. Like I've had so many here that now I don't remember which one is which. But, when I first started doing stand-up comedy, and I was so much younger, man. I think I was like 27. So yeah, it was on, dude. And back then, Bart, the owner of the comedy club, didn't have a hotel. We had like a condo, an apartment. So people were it was like an orgy, man. People were just going in there, and everybody was banging everybody, knocking on doors. Okay, I'll tell you a funny story. There was 3 bedrooms at the condo, and one day, I'm not going to mention names, but the opening act, believe it or not, was banging some girl in his room. And then me and I think I was the feature act at that time, and me and the headliner were just watching TV in the living room, and then her friend comes, and her friend is wearing a Walgreens, clothes, like her uniform or whatever, her outfit. And she's like, is Lisa here? Or whatever her name was. And she was like, oh yeah, she's in a room with our friend. So we go there and we knock on the door, and we hear them banging, right? And she's like, oh my God, she's such a slut. I can't believe she's here. She's doing that. Now, all of a sudden, I don't know how it happened, but me and the other guy have our dicks out, and she's jerking both of us like she's jerking us off the way Trump dances with his arms like that. You know what I mean? Doing that jerking off motion. And so she's jerking, and we're like, yeah, man, that's fucked up, bro. She's such a slut. Yeah, I can't believe she's doing that, and she's jerking us off, and we're just
being a slut herself.
Me and him and look at each other like, all right, fuck it.
Oh yeah, nice.
And Bart's got to bring back the condo, bro.
He does, bro. He does.
That was fun, man.
Maybe we can host the show from there, dude. Fuck, man.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, right after the show, man, we would go partying and bring girls back to the condo, and it was fun.
Nice.
Back in the good old days.
What part of town was that? Do you know more or less or no?
It was probably on the
west side, right? West side, I'm thinking.
No, yeah, it was on the west side, right?
Yeah,
the west
I mean,
side.
if you came back, if you were a feature back then, the club was probably off of.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't on the west side. That's right. I
The
forgot.
OG comics.
Yeah, the OG one.
Yeah, I actually started. Yeah, it was amazing. I actually started as an opener, and then I worked my way to feature and then the headliner.
Oh wow,
That's cool. Oh yeah, dude.
But it's those were the days. Now, I'm much older, and I would like to do that again. But I'll be like, yeah, it's past 7:30, man. Just scratch my back. You know what I mean? Just put me to sleep. I just want to go to sleep.
Just give me some little love and shit, just a little bit. Nice little hug and some
rocking.
spanking and tickle.
Send me a nude pic so I could jerk off in the morning when I wake up.
With that morning wood and shit. Hell yeah, dude. Nice. So where are you residing now? Because you're from New York originally, right?
Originally, I'm from
Queens?
New York in the Bronx.
Oh, Bronx. My
yeah,
bad.
and then, but I live in LA now. So
Okay.
yeah. So I live near Venice, California, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's like
Cool.
I live like 5 minutes from the beach.
How long have you been living out there? Like, how old were you when you left New York?
I was 19 when I left New York. I was 19 years old. I moved to Tucson, Arizona to become a professional boxer. And I did that. And then, tried a couple other things, did this, that. And then I got into comedy, man. And, early on I decided, okay, I'm probably going to move because I wanted to be a road comic. That's what I want to do. So I'll probably move to Texas because that way I'll be in the middle of the country and I could just travel everywhere. And then I decided, well, let me try to see if I could really make it in show business. So I moved to LA and that was it, man. I moved to LA with like $500, bro. That was it.
Damn.
And then I remember when I got there, my car broke down and I needed that $500 to fix my car. And then I just got this agent picked me up to do these shows for military shows. And that's what saved me. I'm like, oh, thank God, I got some money now. And that was it.
Damn. So when you went to LA, you had no friends, no family, just went out there and just said, fuck, I want to try it
Yeah,
out.
I mean, I knew a couple people. I knew some comics
Okay.
and stuff. There was a guy named Gilbert Esquivel that helped me a lot. I stayed with him a few times, and he's really funny dude. He's an OG too, and he's been doing it forever. And he took me in a little bit. So, but you work your way. You help each other out. You help each other out and whatever. And I was real lucky. I was very fortunate. But then I was always working. I was always hustling. I was always on the road too, which a lot of comics in LA stay just in LA. But I wanted to make a living, so I wanted to, because when you stay in LA, all you could really do to make money is either go on the road. But if you're going to stay in LA, you have to act. And even though I tried acting, I like acting. I am an actor, but acting's not my thing. Acting, like on the totem pole of show business, all the things that I love to do, acting is probably on the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh, thanks for the insight on that, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. Well, I mean, do you play music? Do you play any musical instruments?
No, I wish, dude. I kind of was fucking around with congas for a while.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then my girlfriend made me sell them. Hey, there's no room there. Shit all over the place. Shut the fuck up, bitch. I have to pay the rent. But anyway. Yeah, so I ended up selling them. But yeah, but I don't play. I wish I played music because fucking I would love to play music. And nobody throws their panties at comedians. They always throw them at the fucking drummer, the guitar player, never the tuba guy either. But anyway, just the gay guys throw their underwear to the tuba guy. But yeah, dude, I would love to play a musical instrument. You know what I mean? It's fucking, because that would be dope. Because I think comedians and musicians are a lot alike. We have the same kind of lifestyle. You know what I mean? And we're also the kind of people that. Musicians and comedians are the only ones that'll work on their day off. They'll work for free. You know what I mean? We'll go. A comedian and a musician will go to a club, and somebody go, "Hey man, you want to hit the stage? You want to play? Yeah, man, I'll jump on the stage. Right? We'll jump on the stage to do a joke. Musicians will jump on the stage and grab the guitar and play for free, just because we're artists. That's what you have to do. And a lot of people don't understand that, But that's like I'll do comedy. Even if I was a billionaire, I would still do comedy.
Wow. That's cool.
But I'll do comedy with a, fuck everybody attitude. But that's it.
Hell yeah. Nice. I like that.
I think it's for the love of it, right? For the love of the art, for the passion of it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's hilarious. So let me ask you, Joey, I want to ask you, how did the Latin Kings of Comedy come to be? Like, how did that happen? Like, what was the...
Well, what happened was... No, okay, so there was the original Kings of Comedy, right, with the black guys.
Yeah.
And Paul Rodriguez had an idea... we're going to try to do something similar, And then, so it was actually him, George, and I think Mencia. And then there was Alex Ramundo and I, which we were kind of just really the opening acts for them, right? And then some things happened. But the way the story I heard was Carlos Mencia was doing his own gig one day, and he was on a radio show, and he was talking shit about Paul.
Oh, no.
Damn. And Paul said, well, fuck it, he's out. Boom, abracadabra, right? Damn. Gone. And then, so we're doing the tour, and we were doing the tour before it was called the Latin Kings of Comedy. And I don't know what we called it, I forgot. But somehow they were trying to make it the Latin Kings of Comedy. So the term Kings of Comedy is owned by a guy named Walter Latham. And so in order to call anything Kings of Comedy, you got to get licensed through him, right? So when we shot it here at El Paso, which was the set was beautiful and everything, he came down and Paramount Pictures came down because Paramount Pictures owned the Kings of Comedy too. So the show wasn't called Latin Kings of Comedy. So the show was so good that Paramount Pictures liked it, everybody liked it, and then they said, okay, we want to make it a movie, the Latin Kings of Comedy, the original Latin Kings of Comedy. And it played in movie theaters. It played, from there it went to Showtime. Showtime went to Comedy Central. But that's how it became the Latin Kings of Comedy. It wasn't originally that. Oh, wow. It became that just because everything turned out good and they were like, it's going to work. And, it was a really big production. You saw it with the Lowriders and the this and the that. We were here all week shooting and promoting. And I knew it was going to be big. I go, this is going to change my life. There's going to be a big thing in my life. And even into the last minute, Alex and I weren't sure if we were going to be in because Paul had a lot to do with it, right? So Paul is his mind is all over the place. Oh, we're going to do this. Oh, no, we're going to do that. Then we even had, a lot of people don't know this because it's not on the DVD or in the special. 2 girls were on the show. And, in my mind, I'm going, dude, we can't be the Latin Kings of Comedy if you have women on the show. And then we heard, well, Paul's going to keep whoever does the best, right? So it was just, I guess, Alex and I. So we stayed on the show, and it became the Kings of Comedy, and anyway, that's the way it went. But it wasn't as smooth as I wish it would have been. You know, my productions, because I'm also a filmmaker, would have been a lot more smoother.
In what aspect? Can you talk about that or no?
Yeah, that kind of thing. It's like, you know, Paul would change his mind every 5 minutes about, okay, we're going to do this. Oh, no, now we're going to do that. Oh, we'll do that. And it's like, when you're doing a production, you can't have that, because if you have that, that's chaos and nothing is ever going to plan out. It's the equivalent, because I always say making a film is the equivalent of building a house. Once you have a blueprint and you go, okay, you're like, okay, this is what we're going to go with. You can't, I mean, you could do little changes, but you can't be like, oh, you don't know, fuck it. Let's put the bathroom here instead of here. Like, no, we already did all the piping. We can't change it. It's now that's more for a standard film, but any production is like that. And I'm not like saying anything negative about Paul. It was just, he has that habit where he does that. So it was making things a little difficult for me. You know what I mean? So I, nervous. Yeah. Am I going to be on the shoot? Am I not going to be on it? This, that, and the other thing. And, but it all turned out great, as you saw. So obviously maybe whatever he was doing was working. So.
Okay. Cool, man.
So when they asked you to come, to the Plaza, I think, was it the Plaza Theater?
Abraham Chavez?
No. He did a.
Oh, okay.
He came back, what, 2 years ago or a year?
Oh, okay.
My bad. The Latin Kings of Comedy, but it was like,
oh yeah,
Paul was there and Johnny Sanchez was there and a couple of other guys.
Yeah, it was. I call it the cover band. Like it was. Paul has. We were doing some Latin Kings of Comedy tour, but the only Latin Kings really was Paul and I, right? And then Alex when he was on it. But he would bring other guys in. But it was funny because like the other comics would be like, yeah, I'm one of the Latin Kings of Comedy. I'm like, no, you're not. You're like the cover band, dude. You don't count. You know what I mean? Like, just because Adam Lampert is singing with Queen, he's not fucking a queen, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not. He's just covering it. So that's the way I see it. But yeah, we did that theater and that was fun. And the name it's still Latin Kings of Comedy is still one of the biggest comedy groups or whatever you want to call it in history.
It is.
I wish I would have made a residuals, man. I would have been rich from that.
Damn.
But it helped my career, dude. I was doing casinos and theaters, and I went from making $1,500 a show to $10,000 a show. Damn. Like that overnight. And I'm like, I'll take it.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was fun.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So going back to I guess your earlier days, how did you get started in boxing? At what age, and how did you make that part of your life?
Boxing has always been. I think it came from a couple of things. I think when I saw the movie Rocky when I was a little kid. Okay. Right. I also would watch. Back then, boxing was on television because there's only 3 channels, right? So boxing was always on TV, and Muhammad Ali would always fight and everything. So I would always watch boxing. When I was 7 years old, my aunt bought me a pair of boxing gloves, and I would box my friends, but I only had one pair, so they would have one glove, I'll have the other one. We were like, sword fighting with gloves, and then it's just something that totally sparked in me when I saw it. So when I was in 7th grade, I saw a kid in my class or in my school with a shirt that said Morris Park Boxing Club. And I'm like, what? Is that? Because I used to rent a book at the library, not rent. I would take a book out about boxing just to read it and just to look at the pictures. And, so I was always fascinated by boxing. I always wanted to be a boxer. And then I saw that shirt. So he told me where it was. I went I think that Sunday or whatever. It was closed. I go up to the door. I pushed, it had like the little mail slot. I push it in. I'm looking inside. I'm looking at an actual ring and bags. And I could smell the sweat, and I'm like, holy shit, this is real. All the stuff that I see like on TV and in books, like I'm looking at it right now. So I went the next day when it was open, and the guy tells me, it's like $5 a month to join. And I'm like, I don't have any money. So he goes, all right, just clean up. You can train for free. And that's what I did, man. Then that's my boxing career that's the way it started.
That's cool, man.
Picking up spit.
Spit and sweat and all that.
Yeah, and all that shit.
And this was back in New York?
Yeah, back in the
Okay,
Bronx.
cool.
Yeah.
How old you said 9?
Said he was in the 7th grade.
In the
Middle
7th
school, you
grade?
said?
Yeah, I was probably. I literally started boxing on my 13th birthday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, on that same day I turned 13 was the first day I went back to the gym, and I had my first boxing match 11 days later, which was stupid. I got my ass kicked by a guy named Charlie Canella, I think was his name. Charlie Canella, little Italian kid from the Bronx, beat my ass because I knew he was already boxing and I didn't know anything. And I'm like, hey, you want to fight? I'm like, yeah, okay.
Damn.
I go in there like, and my family were there like, Joey, and I'm just getting my ass kicked. Had a bloody nose. I was so, but you know what? I didn't give up. I'm like, I want to keep going. You know, I should have fought him again. I would have beat him, but it's all right.
How many matches did you have before you turned? Did you ever go professional? You did, right?
Yeah, I became professional.
So before then, how many amateur fights did you have?
Probably about 57.
Oh wow.
Yeah, amateur fights. Had a lot. I
What-
was in
what
the
ab-
Golden Gloves twice and everything.
Okay.
I won the Junior Olympics. I won something else called the Kid Gloves, which is like the Golden Gloves. Yeah, and I even fought in the Dominican Republic as an amateur.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I went there and we had a match and it was fun, man. Boxing was great. I love boxing this very day. You know, I appreciate all the other sports, and I used to play football too, but boxing is the shit. Boxing, you know, I love. And I like, you know, people want to always compare it to MMA, and it's like apples and oranges, two different sports. Yeah. I give those MMA guys all the credit in the world. You know, I don't dislike it. It's just not boxing. Boxing's different. I like boxing more. I think boxing's a little harder.
It's more technical, I would say.
Yeah, because it's more technical. That's kind of what it is. But you know, again, I don't take anything away from MMA guys. They're tough athletes. They're great to watch, and you know, it's a big thing now. So good for them.
Is there a boxer you would have wanted to fight? Like
Is there a boxer I want to fight?
Yeah, like way back, like Muhammad Ali or something.
No, well, he would have been too big. But I would have anybody when I turned pro. Anybody who was a champion, I wanted to fight, right? Because that's your goal. The goal is always to beat the champ. So when I won, I was the Arizona lightweight champion, and you know I won that title by beating a guy named Chris Alvarado, and I was 3-1 underdog, and I ended up knocking him down 6 times, and they stopped the fight in the 11th round. It was just like, yeah. I knew I was gonna win, man. I trained so fucking hard for that fight. That was the hardest. It was weird. It was. I trained so hard that it became almost like a Zen thing. Like I didn't talk to anyone on the phone for like 2 months. I didn't watch television. I would go to bed early. I would read my Bible. I would pray when I would run. Like I was in a weird Zen mode where like the week of the fight, I was so jumpy, ready to go. Like I wanted to call the guy I was fighting just to go, hey man, do you feel the same thing I'm feeling? Yeah. Like I'm feeling all this, like, you know what I mean? And like there was no malice. Like I'm gonna kick his ass. It wasn't like that. Like I knew I was gonna win. It was just like a spiritual kind of like awakening or something. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. And I won. Thank God, I was right. Otherwise, I'm like, what the fuck?
Imagine all this shit for nothing.
Yeah, I know.
And how many fights did you have as a professional?
Probably maybe 19, 18, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you just stop? Is that when you transitioned to comedy more, or?
Yeah, that's when I transitioned. But the reason I stopped was, like anything else in life, you get burned out, right? Yeah. So it's like, I fought for the NABF title, and I got robbed. You know, I thought I got robbed in that fight, and that really took a lot of steam out of me because I was like, because to be a professional boxer, you have to put so much of yourself into it. You got to, you know, the dieting, the eating right, the not going out and doing this, not, you know, supposedly not having an orgasm while you're training, which is really hard. Yeah. And thank God they didn't have the internet back then.
Or social media.
I would have been, I'm like, I can't box no more. But anyway, so my thing was always like, if I'm gonna lose, I want to lose. I'm okay with losing. I understand the reality of losing, but if I'm gonna get robbed, then I'm like, what the fuck am I? Just tell me don't show up to the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
You automatically lost.
Don't waste my time.
Yeah, don't waste my time. I trained really fucking hard, so that really took it out of me. And then you know, I've always loved comedy, and then one day, you know, one thing led to another, and I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna become a comedian. There you go.
Nice. As a kid, were you like the funny kid growing up, or
Yeah,
like the
but I
clown
was
or
really
anything
shy
like that?
too at the same time, which was really weird because I was only funny with my close friends.
Right.
Anytime if me and my close friends were hanging out and joking, fucking around, and so a new kid came around or a new person came around, I would stop. I was too shy, which is weird because I'm still shy, I think, but I know how to overcome it. You know what I mean?
It's kind of the opposite with him. He's not really funny around strangers. Around us, he cracks us up. So.
Now I feel like I'm the same way. Like I feel like growing up, I'd be messing with my friends, and then a new person would walk in or do whatever. Same way, I just shut down, and be like, "What the? Who's this person?" Just analyze them for a little bit and see who they are, what they want, type of thing. It's crazy.
And it's because the thing is, it's not natural for a human being to speak in public. That's why they say next to death is the scariest thing, right? So. And it's true. And there are times that I still get nervous. I get nervous when I work at a new comedy club. I'll get nervous when I do a gig that's not a normal gig, like a corporate event, right? Or someone hires me to, perform in their backyard, right? Or whatever. Anytime it's a little awkward, it throws me off. And it's like, okay, I'm a little more nervous because now it's like, imagine, okay, I'm used to boxing. I'm boxing. But now they're going to go, okay, I want you to box, but I want you to do it on the sand. It's a little different. Like, okay, now even though you're doing the same thing, the environment is different. So you're not used to it. And that's all that is. But you just gotta. I've been doing comedy 32 years, so I use the experience I have, and I'm like, okay, I'll do this. I'll slow down. I'll try it this way. I'll do this, and see what works. And then I'm really good at if something's not working, switch it real fast and just go to something else. Just like boxing. Boxing and comedy is very much alike.
Wow. Yeah, because it's basically like a one-on-one.
Yeah.
You're not part of a team. Quote unquote. You're not out there performing well. It's just you and the crowd. It's you versus your opponent. And that's what people don't realize.
Your opponent. Yeah. And something you said about like the team is I always tell people, and like even all the people that are listening right now, if you have a son or even a daughter now, I would put them into boxing because they learn individuality. A lot of kids who are playing team sports, which is great too. I have nothing against team sports, but they learn how to do things as a team all the time. They're part of a team. They're not making individual decisions, the way a boxer would, right? And then also, if you're playing baseball, you're playing all these sports, you can still drink, you can still get high, you can still fuck around, right? Yeah. But you're a boxer, you do that, yeah, you can still do that, but you're going to get your ass kicked, and you know that, right? So if you're a boxer and you're taking it serious, whether you're male, female, man, you train better, you eat better, you're like, I don't want to hang out, I got to go to bed, I run in the morning, I need to do this. And it makes boxing becomes like a surrogate parent for single mothers. If you're a single mom and you got a son, put his little ass in boxing, because if he doesn't like it, then obviously don't let he doesn't have to. She shouldn't do it. But if he likes it, that'll become your son's father. Because that's what happened to me.
Okay. Wow, that's really cool that you put that in that light, in that perspective. Because like you said,
I'm a deep motherfucker, bro. I'm deep, son.
I'm deep, son. I like that. No, because working as a team, you depend on others, and you're like, okay, let me slack off a little bit. Let me do this. Let me do that. And like you said, you can't. If you're gonna be training, you're not gonna want to drink. You're not gonna want to smoke. Versus team, you know how it is.
Yeah, team sport, you can do what the fuck you want, right? It doesn't even matter. But boxing is very strict. I remember when I think I was 16. Might have been 15 or 16. I don't know. I got a hickey from some chick, and I went to the gym and I showed it off. I couldn't wait to show it off to all my friends, right? Like, oh, check out my hickey, right? Check out my hickey. And then my trainer saw it, and he said, "What the fuck?" He goes, "Get the fuck out! Don't come back till that's gone." And for 3 days, man, I couldn't go back to the gym, which was killing me. And I never got a hickey that anyone could see later after that.
You learned your lesson.
And to me, I don't even know why. Like, I'm like, what does that have to do with boxing, right? But I didn't care, man. I'm like, if he doesn't want me to go back to the gym because of that, I'll never get another hickey again in my neck. Damn. So there goes that.
It's a life lesson, man.
Yeah, but as a comic, anybody who wants to give me a hickey is cool.
Échale. Nice. So, where has been some of the weirdest spots have you performed comedy?
I thought you were gonna say have sex. I was like in the ass. No. Weirdest spots I've ever done comedy. Oh shit, there's a lot.
Just anything that come off your top of the head.
Well, I've done military gigs where they were literally, I'm standing outdoors. There's no lights. They had to put like Humvees or whatever to give me lights. And one time I did a military base where the microphone was connected to the speaker, and I was holding the speaker with one hand and the microphone with the other hand. It was like those little toy things, like you know what I mean, like for kids. And so I'm turning. When I turned one way, the other people to my other side couldn't hear me, and when I turned the other way, and it was just, it was in Japan, and I'm like, oh fuck! I flew all the way here for the shitty bar gig, on a base with a microphone and a speaker that I have to hold on to. I'm like, oh well, it is what it is,
Yeah, that's insane.
Wow.
I've done good gigs too, that when I say good, they paid a lot of money and it was beautiful, but the gig was horrible because like people didn't speak English, and I'm like, I did a show one time where they paid me $7,500 for one show, and it was in Malibu, and there was a bunch of surgeons, and it had money, man. They had like those ice sculptures where they pour vodka in it and it comes down, it comes out the mouth or whatever. And I'm thinking, man, this place is great. Hardly anyone spoke English well anyway. And nobody laughed. For an hour, dude, I was on stage. I had to do an hour and nobody laughed. And had a girlfriend there and I was just going, hey, you got any ideas? Like,
wow.
Dude, I was bombing. I bombed. Like, it was a boxing match. They stopped the fight. They stopped the fight on me. And you know, the only one laughing was this 14-year-old boy.
Of course.
And I found out later the reason I got the gig was his father. He made his father hire me because he was a fan of mine.
Oh,
so that's
wow.
how I got the gig.
No way.
So I remember his father, who's I guess another surgeon. He brings me into the office. He's like this with a disappointed look, and he's got a checkbook. Goes, all right, so what do I owe you? I'm like, $7,500. Like, hey man, it ain't my fault. These fuckers don't speak English. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I wish I was a juggler. If I could juggle, at least I could entertain people that don't speak English. But
wow,
I bet that kid had the time of his life though, man.
Oh, he did. He was laughing.
Yeah,
I don't know
man.
if he was laughing because he liked my jokes, or he was laughing because he was watching me get killed. Like I was dying a horrible death on that stage. But
that's hilarious. It's awesome.
Yeah, dude. All kinds of shit happened. Oh, another time. One time, Tucson. They flew me to Tucson to perform for a group of they were homicide survivors, and meaning they had family members that were killed in a homicide, and they were the survivors of them.
Okay.
Which is a weird event, right?
Yeah, it is.
So I'm late. I missed my flight. Everything. I get there at the end of whatever else was happening during this meeting or convention, right? And the whole day, I'm telling myself, Joey, don't say the wrong thing, because just because I'm thinking I don't want to trigger anybody, right? Yeah. And at one point, I say something about you know when you have a child, right, kind of thing, to this lady. And then as I said that, I'm like, oh, I think I might have fucked up. She goes, my daughter just was killed. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. I'm like, this day can't get any worse. I'm like,
that would happen.
So I had her kicked out. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not gonna fuck with my show.
Get her the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck with my show, woman.
Get that bitch out of here.
Oh,
You're not gonna kill my show.
I go, if anybody else wants to talk about their dead kid, get the fuck out of here with her. No,
You're not going to murder my show.
Oh, shit.
Just because your daughter was murdered, you're not going to murder my show.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, just because she's dead, I don't have to die up here.
Fuck. Fucking brutal. Where have been some of your best or like most favorite spots to perform in? What cities or clubs?
Well, El Paso for a lot of reasons. Some of them I already mentioned, right? One of them. And that's the truth. I love El Paso. I'm not saying that because I'm here, right?
Nice.
But I love Vegas. Vegas is always fun because it's Vegas, right?
Yeah. Desmadre.
Yeah, and Thailand. I love Thailand. I've been to twice. I performed there twice. I fucking love.
Wow.
Thailand is literally the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. Most beautiful place.
I've seen pictures recently from this friend that was out there. She was out there for like 2 weeks, and she was living like amazing for cheap. Like it was inexpensive.
Yeah, very inexpensive, and it's beautiful. It's not like Tijuana, right? It's beautiful.
Donkey shows on the side of the road and shit.
And for some weird reason, the women in Thailand have the longest clits I've ever seen in my life. And it's weird. And their ovaries hang out. They hang out. And it's kind of weird, but
Shout out to the lady boys.
Yeah.
Is that what they are?
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Dude, there's this one comic, I can't remember his name, but he goes, yeah, the best looking women in Thailand are teenage boys.
That's horrible. That's horrible. Thailand. Where else have you performed overseas?
Oh wow! Okay.
Besides, you said Japan, Thailand. Where else have you been?
All over Asia. I did Singapore, Indonesia,
Oh, that's dope.
Malaysia, Vietnam. Actually, I'm the first American to headline Vietnam.
No way.
Yeah. What else? Malaysia, Thailand. I've done England. I've done Croatia. I've done Portugal, Turkey, Spain, Italy. Fuck, a bunch of places.
That's cool. And like the
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Nice. The language barrier doesn't like mess anything up with the crowd or
No,
anything.
a lot of people, especially like places like Singapore and Malaysia, bro, they speak perfect English.
Okay.
And
But did they get the references and stuff?
yeah, because everyone watches American television and YouTube now.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Before YouTube, I think it was harder.
Okay.
But still, you have to be careful. You have to, some people, like I have a joke where the tagline is light and gas. They don't use that terminology in nowhere else but in America, right? So you have things like that. You have to be careful not to use those kind of terminologies. And then, you do a little research. That's all. You do a little research and then everywhere in the world, we do jokes about our in-laws. We do jokes about wives, about children. Sex jokes are pretty much the same.
Universal, pretty much.
Yeah. So, it's not difficult at all. I've been to Canada a few times as well, other parts of Europe, but it's I love it, man. It's fun. And those are the challenges when you do those kind of gigs, but it's you live and learn, you figure out how to do it.
So yeah, like basically like as a Latino, you have to like cater to your audience basically, or
Well, yeah, you cater to your audience the way if you were hosting a party, you would cater to your audience, right? If you're having a bunch of young people coming over, you're gonna have beer, right? If you're having older, sophisticated people, you're gonna have some wine, you're gonna have some drinks. That's the way. So on the stage, you kind of do the same thing. You if it's a more older, rigid kind of crowd, I'll curse less, right? Maybe there's a couple jokes I wouldn't do, and usually I'll know once I start. Oh, I can do my finger banging joke, or I could do that joke, or I probably shouldn't do that joke. You know what I mean? Or I'll find another way to say it. I'll use just a different piece of it, or just part of it, not all of it. You know what I mean? So when you're on stage as a comedian, or at least for me, it's almost like you have two brains. One brain is doing what it's doing, telling the jokes, and the other brain is looking through files, going, okay, should I do this? Maybe try that, try this, do that, and then you're thinking. It's weird. You're thinking two different thoughts at the exact same time.
that's crazy.
Which is kind of weird. And sometimes I get scared. I'm like, oh fuck, what did I? Because I don't even pay attention to what I was just saying. I'm like, was I saying everything right? Like I don't.
You kind of just get lost in the thought.
Yeah, you get
and
lost
just say
because I'm lost in the other shit instead of automatically just talking.
That's crazy to think about, man.
Yeah, that's real. It's weird. It's weird, but been doing that for years already.
Yeah, you're a master at your craft, So you've done it for a while. Wow, that's fucking crazy.
You're saying that, and I was thinking about. I know you're talking about comedy, but I was thinking of boxing. And it's crazy how you're saying that they go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was picturing in my mind too.
I was picturing you in a ring as opposed to on a stage.
Boxing's the same thing. Boxing is you're paying attention to what's happening right then and there, right? But you also paying attention. Like you're also thinking, man, this guy is tough, but hopefully, he should be getting tired soon. Like he's not used to fighting these many rounds. Like you think about other things at the same time. And I think probably everybody is capable of doing that, or everybody does do that to some extent. It's just that in comedy, you're doing it at long stretches instead of short little stretches. You know what I mean? So that's kind of it. I think most people, we're all the same. We just do things differently sometimes, right?
Yeah, for sure. Can you remember, the first time you were on stage and those bright lights were on you?
Oh yeah.
And you couldn't see, past the stage. How does that feel? Because I think that's one of my biggest fears. Because I've, recently we had the Puga Comedy Fest and people were telling us, hey, the three of you, because we have another co-host, you guys should write a set. We want you guys here. We want you guys to do this open mic, blah blah blah. And I'm like thinking like us. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know, but that for me, I don't know how he feels, but I know for me, just being in front of an audience like that with lights on me, I'd probably be like, oh shit, probably shit my
It's
pants.
the scariest thing I ever did.
Okay.
And the way it worked was, it was the first stage I ever stepped on was the Laughs Comedy Club in Tucson, right? So, which is talk about when you ask me places to perform, is that one. There is very special always for me to perform because it was the first stage I ever worked on. So, I was so nervous that I went there before they opened, and I asked the guy who was running the club, "Hey, could you turn the lights on and the mic? I just want to feel it first." It's like boxer, like you feel the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in the ring and you run around, and you hop around because you just want to get a feel of what the ring feels like. So that's what I wanted with the stage. So he turned the lights on, put the mic on. He went to the office. Literally, there was nobody there but me. And I'm hitting the mic and I'm hearing it. And I was fucking shaking. I was nervous. Damn. I was like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. And I saw the bright light. I'm like, I can't see anything. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I was really, but I already dedicated committed myself. I had a couple friends that were going to come over and watch it. It was just an open mic. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. And the thing was, I was so nervous that I had to wear dark glasses, like Ray-Bans, because I needed a barrier between me and the audience. So I thought, I go, well, that's going to look weird on stage. It's going to look like I'm blind, and that's a weird act. So I go, well, I'll just pretend like I'm a cholo, right? And so I did that. Only because I needed glasses. That was the only fucking reason. And I just remember that, to me, that somehow made it easier because I had the glasses in between me and the people. Like, it was, I was hiding behind the glasses. I needed to hide behind something in order for me to do my comedy, you know? So...
That's crazy, dude. It's like that Julian from Big Daddy, where he had to have his glasses when he was invisible, right? Yeah. That's kind of like that, right. like a security blanket.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Cool. And then I remember one time when I stopped that, the first time I stopped that was because I was doing like a white biker gang party or something. And I'm like, well, one, I'm not going to do this fucking cholo accent, and I'm not going to wear these glasses, right? I'm going to do nothing cholo. So I did the same act, just normal, like me. And it felt okay. It wasn't that scary. So after that, I stopped. But it was funny because one time I went back to Tucson, and I went there the day early. So I went to their open mic, and because I was going to perform the next day. And there was this dude doing the exact same shit I did.
No way.
He was all choloed out, and he had he was, you could tell it was over the top exaggeration. And he was horrible, right? But I'm fucking laughing, but not laughing because he was horrible. I was laughing because I'm like, oh my God, that was me. That's totally was me. That motherfucker on stage right now was exactly what I was doing.
He probably saw you and was like, oh, that's a good idea.
No, dude, I have a tape of me doing that, bro. And every once in a while I go, I'm going to play it. I'm like, no, because people are going to fuck with me too much. I'm not going to do it.
Put it on TikTok, bro. Put it on Instagram.
No, man. Watch all of a sudden get more hits. Now I got to do the character again to make a living.
Imagine, dude, it hits, it goes viral, like super viral. That has to be your new persona. The whole fuck, El Cholo.
One time I had a friend of mine, a guy named Flip Shorts, who's one of the funniest comics I know, and he had this like comedy party at his house that everybody brought their first tape. And we played it, and we all roasted each other, man. It was fucking hilarious.
That's cool.
I brought that one. It's not my first one. But it was one of the first, you know.
That's so cool. VHS and everything?
Yeah, VHS, bro.
Nice.
Back in the day.
That's badass.
You know.
That's terrifying to me, bro. Like, that's more terrifying than being on stage to me.
No, like, I'm not, before I was afraid to bomb. And trust me, I don't like bombing, right? But I'm not afraid of it now. I have to try to figure out why I bomb. To me, that's more important. Because sometimes it really... No, but they always say don't blame the audience, and I agree with that to an extent. But sometimes the audience does suck, and you're like, all right, you know, if the audience is from 1 to 10, and you're used to 10s all the time, sometimes audiences only go to 4, they only go to 5. That's it. That's all they got. That's all the energy they have, and you just have to tell yourself, okay, the 5 is their top. Just live with that and move on. Like, sometimes you're not going to knock out every opponent. Sometimes you're going to win by decision. And you know what? Fuck it, take the decision, man. The win's a win. You know
Win's a win. Yes, sir. That's a good way to put it in that perspective. Yo, Steve. where has been one of the worst spots you've bombed
Oh, like
that you can think of? I mean,
well, I've bombed a lot. No, no. Well, when I first started, and then Joey would give. Well, I'll get to that with Joey a little later, but I think I've told this story before. I think the first time I ever bombed, because when I first started stand up, I came out pretty hot. Like I was like riding a pretty good. I got like, I guess you could say, beginner's luck.
Mhm.
And people were telling me, wait till you bomb, don't get too high. I'm like, that ain't shit, man. And then there was an open mic at Mona, and it was packed, bro. Out of all, dude, there's never like, there all these mics that we go to, like there's maybe like just comics or just like one or two people sitting at the bar, and you're there telling your fucking jokes, you know. But I was only doing open mics at Phoenix on Fridays. That's where I started, you know, and I was only doing it there, and I got off pretty hot there. And it was, I think it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday at Mona, and this place was packed to the brim with comics. But what was crazy is there was people in that were there just to watch the show, but it was packed, bro. Like it was like full. Like you could have sworn like a real comedy show was like happening, you know,
like a big headliner.
Yeah. So I go up there, and I'm brand new, man. Like I don't know shit, you know. And so I go up, and then of course, like my comedy's kind of changed. It's kind of evolved a little bit. And I would just do a bunch of like dark humor death jokes. And yeah, no, dude. Like after I hit my first punchline, it was like quiet. Like you could hear a mouse fart in there, bro. Like, and it tripped me out. And like it was weird because I'm up there bombing, just trying, and all the comics are just looking at me like with a straight face.
Damn, that's fucked
People
up.
are like, "What's wrong with him?" You know. And I bailed, bro. Like I was like, "Fuck this." I was supposed to do like maybe like 5 minutes. And I only did like 2.5.
No way! You just dipped out.
He threw his own towel in.
And I was so upset. And I was so mad at myself. And then there was this guy, bless his heart. His name was Ivan Harris. He was a comedian here in El Paso. He passed away about a year ago.
Oh man, R.I.P.
He saw me and he goes, "Hey man, how long have you been doing stand up?" And I go, "Like 3 months." He goes, "Dude, I couldn't tell. Like you went up there and like you were biting a bunch of bullets, and like it looked like it didn't phase you." And I was like, "No, dude, I fucking got off of there like quicker than a motherfucker." Didn't you see that? He's like, "No, it happens, bro. It happens." And after that, I was just like, you know, that's it, you know. And it was pretty bad. It was pretty embarrassing. It fucked with me the next day. Like the next day, I was like so mad. I was still mad at myself, and I'm very hard on myself, especially when it comes to things like comedy, you know. So like I was just really upset. I think I was upset like the next day, and I think some of the day after, just because it messed with me so bad. I had to get back to Phoenix where I got comfortable and started all over again.
How long ago was that when you did that Mona show?
That was like in the summer of 2021.
Oh, it's been a minute. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. I'm sure you've grown, bro, because I was just telling you that you know, when I caught your set on Thursday, that you keep your comedy pretty fresh.
Oh, thank you.
That I was noticing that you know, keep it fresh, you change it up pretty often, and I like that.
Oh, thank you.
So how often do you work on your craft as far as that? Like how often do you like say, fuck it, like let me just get some new shit? Is it or just it just comes to you?
It just comes to me, or like I'll like read the news, or like I try to like talk. I'm not gonna talk about like the mainstream stuff, like like the whole, like for example, like you're not gonna see me on stage talking about P. Diddy and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As funny as it is, if you make it funny, But I wouldn't. I like to talk about different things, or like if I see something, or if I see like I hear a story or something, I'll like exaggerate it, and that's how I keep it going.
Oh yeah. What about you, Joey? How do you write new material? What inspires you? Like, how often do you try to come up with new stuff? Like, what's your process?
I watch what Steve does, and then I try to do it better.
It's not that hard, then.
Bro. That was a good one, bro.
I write all the time, man. You know, when you're a comedian, you're looking like your brain already has like a trap out. And anything that could be funny, it captures it. Then you have to interpret what that means, right? So I'm a observational comic. So I'm, again, you know, I'll see something or experience something and exaggerate it, like Steven was talking about. But I worked for a game show called Funny You Should Ask. It's on television, nationwide television. And that taught me how to write short and like dad jokes. Because that wasn't my style at all. But now I can do that very easily. And, you know, just one-liners. That's all they are. And so I have different styles of writing. So my thing is whatever thought, like the concept has to be funny. And then I come up with it. But then when, you know, but I could write differently. I can write backwards. So for instance, one thing I used to do on the game shows, one of the way I would write jokes is, the game show was all about facts. It was like Hollywood Squares, except there was no tic-tac-toe in it, right? It was just questions. Most of the questions were true, and then some of the questions were false. The false ones were funny because then I could just make it up. I could make the fact up. I don't care what it was. So like when I would do those, I would, let's say I would look up a term. I would go Google and I would go funny terms. And one day I saw the early bird gets the worm. I'm like, okay, let me write a joke for that. So that's going to be the punchline, right? So I put the fact, which, you know, I put, so there would be like true or false. A man in Florida was sunbathing in the nude and was attacked by a seagull on his crotch. Like, you know what they say, early bird gets the worm. And so that's how. Okay. So that's how I wrote backwards. You know, okay. So I would do that. There was another time, and I do this. I think you saw this on at my show. There was a fact. I read a fact about. There was this whale. There's a whale. Certain whale holds the world record for holding its breath over 200 minutes. They can hold their breath over 200 minutes, which is fucking a long time. So for the game show, I wrote, it's a question: what mammal holds a world record for holding its breath for over 200 minutes? And then, you know, it's on that one, it was multiple choice. It was whale, turtle, whatever. And then the joke was the gynecologist at the free clinic. You know, I fucking love that joke. I love that joke. so you know, see that coming. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I love that joke. Some of the jokes, you don't see it coming. And so it's like, there's just different ways. You just have to see it in your mind. You know, and you could write backwards and just, or just do a play on words. Like, again, play on words and also writing backwards. I wrote this joke, but it was not a joke. It's a question for the game show. I do it as a joke on my set sometimes. I go, there was two nuns were, a man attempted to rob two nuns with a switchblade. They ended up sending him to the hospital, unconscious. And then the joke is, that's what you get when you bring a knife to a nun fight. Right? So I did a play in words and I did backwards. I put the thing, I'm like, okay, bring a knife to a gunfight, but how can I make that funny? So I go, oh, gun, nun. Oh, okay, I'll write something about nuns, and that's how I just put it together. So, you know.
That's awesome. That's cool.
So it's just different ways to write.
Are there
like the P. Diddy thing? Like I was saying, like one thing I did it online. I go, hey, but in his defense, I go, Stevie Wonder went to his parties and he said he didn't see anything, and then so that's just stupid. But then I thought of another one that I like, but it's a little awkward, so I don't use it no more. But I go, P. Diddy's son was arrested before him. They arrested him before for the same fucking things. And I want to go, man, I wish I would have been there when they had that father and son birds and the bees talk. Like, what advice did he give his son? You know? All right, mijo.
That's true, though. That is true.
Yeah, you gotta get 500 bottles of lube. Right? I don't know, like.
Bro, the fact that he tried to blame Costco for being down the street, and then
and
the fact that like 2 days later, a spokesman from Costco came out and said we don't sell to them.
We don't have baby oil.
Dude, they had to come out and say like we don't associate with Diddy type shit. I thought that was fucking crazy. I thought that was crazy.
They sell in bulk, but not that kind of bulk.
Not 1,000 shit.
No, I know.
Your cousin went dressed as him last night.
Dude, I was wondering why he didn't go back blackface, dude. He should just not take the word.
Everybody's gonna be like, oh, dude, people are gonna get mad, dude. Everybody's getting a kick out of it.
But
Everybody's just laughing,
dude, that's
taking
awesome.
pictures.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
Talk about a fall from grace, man. Like that dude was like the shit, and now everyone hates him.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking wild. Wild.
You know that his personal barber is from El Paso.
Yeah.
He used to cut my hair, and then
He blew up.
He opened up his he used to cut my hair for $15 back in like the mid 2000s. His name is Marcus Hatch. He's one of the best barbers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
From El Paso, went to Americas. And he would cut my hair on Dyer and Van Vieren at Scales Place for $15 on Sundays.
Oh, snap.
And then he got better and better and better. And then sure enough, he opened up his own studio right here on Sunrise, his own barbershop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I went there for a while, and like all the UTEP players would come into the barbershop. The head basketball coach would come in there.
Damn, dude.
Tony
like
Barbie would be in there. And then all of a sudden, like he just packed up his stuff and moved to LA. And then the next thing you know, P. Diddy, he's there cutting P. Diddy's hair. And and I heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's true or not. I heard it through the grapevine that he was getting paid like 10 G's just to cut his hair.
Jesus
and
Christ.
then P. Diddy hooked him up with all the rappers and some of the NFL players.
Dude, that's sick.
I forgot who it was. One of the rappers was having like a big he was gonna do like the award show, like the Grammys or VMAs, one of those. And that rapper flew all the way from Miami all the way to LA just to get his haircut, just to go back to.
No way.
That's what I heard.
What?
I forgot which rapper it was.
I would have just flew him over there.
No
Right? That's probably been
Yeah,
cheaper.
but that's what I heard.
What? That's insane, dude.
That's why.
Does he still live in El Paso? No, right?
No, he lives in LA, man.
Yeah.
No.
Do you, by any chance, do you know how that like happened? Like how they got hooked up? Nah, right?
I think it had to have happened through social media. I'll ask him the next time I see him.
Yeah,
Please don't say freak off. Please don't
freak
say
off.
that. Don't
How
say
bad
that.
you want to cut hair? No, but yeah, no, I was like real happy for him. I was just like, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
I'd seen that. I saw the story. I was like, what the hell? The guy from El Paso was like, that's tight. That's cool. That's cool.
And we're back.
What was that?
So
The Mexican death whistle.
Yeah, the Aztec death whistle.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
like,
Aztec.
so it only works with both of them open.
Dude, imagine hearing that like in the middle of the woods.
Exactly.
You should go. Dude, if I had that, I would like go to Rio Doso and like go to a camping site and just wail that off like at 2 a.m.
I'm just gonna walk around the rich
At 3 a.m.
just walk around fucking blowing the whistle.
Dude, I have one from Mexico City. My girl brought me back. Like a tiger's face. It's painted all crazy. And that one's a jaguar. Sorry,
Jaguar.
And that one's huge. But that one you have to like cover the eyes, and it sounds crazier. Like the frequencies. And I do it with the cat because my one of my roommates, he has a little cat, and I do it. And she freaks out. So she doesn't know what to do, and it's just I think it's legit. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
Torturing animals now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You had a new low, you piece of shit.
Shut the hell up, nah. I wanted to ask you before we dip out. It's October. Do you have any spooky stories? Any paranormal experiences? Do you believe in ghosts? Anything like that?
Good question. I remember I thought I heard a ghost talking to me once. I was in my sister's room. This is a long time ago. This was before comedy. I was in my sister's. I was probably 18 or something. I was in my sister's room, and I was by myself, and I heard something. Then I kind of like stopped to hear it more, and I heard somebody whisper something in my ear, and I ran out like a little bitch. And I was like, I don't know what it was, and I thought it was a ghost. But and right before that, my grandmother passed away. So I'm thinking, oh, was it that? You know what I mean? Like I don't know, but yeah. So that was probably the only thing I could think of right now. But I'm sure dude, I have so many things have happened in my life, and then you just forget about them.
No,
Just
yeah, for
blow
sure.
them out,
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of people talk about like the different places that they perform at, because there's so much emotion, there's so much energy there, that they always experience something. Not always, but they experience a lot of paranormal stuff. And I was going to ask you that if like anywhere you perform, like maybe a historic theater or something like that, that maybe something creepy happened to you.
Or even an old hotel you stayed at.
Yeah.
Like that. Or do you even believe in ghosts?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
no,
do?
I do.
Okay.
I believe in different energies and stuff like that. There's times where, you see something with your I can't even say the
Peripheral?
word. That one. And you're like, what the fuck was that, right? And then you try to do it again, and you don't see it, but you're like, I think I saw something.
You try to explain it.
Yeah. And there's been times in my life where I thought I saw something, and I'm like, was that what I thought it was? Was it? Or a light would come on, and you're like, how did that light come on? Or how, and it's just, I mean, maybe there's a simple explanation, maybe there's not. But like my mind is open up enough to going, all right, maybe there's some crazy shit happening here.
Yeah, because like you were saying on your set on Thursday, you were saying I'm not religious, but I am spiritual,
Right.
and I like that because I feel like I'm the same way because you do hear certain things, you do feel certain things, and you just kind of like, what was that? But you know, I try to block it out.
Yeah, and
This guy doesn't.
the problem with
I'm not scared
religion,
of it.
the problem with religion is, if you're religious out there, I have nothing against it, right? But it's not for me. So like, the problem with religion, even though I consider myself a Christian, even though I've literally read the entire New Testament, the problem with religion is, well, one of the problems with religion is it's all guardrails, right? So you're not allowed to think past this guardrail. You're not allowed to go past here. You can't go, well, how about this? How about UFOs? You can't talk about UFOs. It's not in the Bible. Well, kind of. Sometimes there are a couple of things maybe that they do mention it. Like, so it's kind of like, it seems like religions put more restraints on you, right? But yet they'll find a fucking excuse for you to do something bad. Or like, oh no, it's okay. Trump is here for a reason. Trump is good. God sent him. Sometimes he sends the sinner. I'm like, no, stop making fucking stop. Yeah, he sent Jeffrey Dahmer to eat some fucking Filipino boy's dick too, right? That's what he did. Shut up, man. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on. Sometimes the answer is right in front of your face, man. If someone's a fucking asshole, they're fucking asshole. There's no reason for it. You know what I mean? But again, I think it's more spiritual. And like I said in my act, I go, look, whatever religion you are, if it helps you be a better person, do that. If you're an atheist and it helps you be a better person, do that, right? Because you think about it, right? A lot of people talk shit about atheists, and I don't, not at all. Because atheists are just one religion separated from anybody else who's religious. Because if you're let's say you're a Christian, and let's say you're a Jehovah's Witness or Muslim or whatever, right? You believe that's the one religion, right? And so that means you don't believe in any other religion. Well, an atheist is just like you, except there's only one more religion he doesn't believe in. That's it. It's the same thing. It really isn't far. Everything in life is perception. Everything in life is how you look at it. If right now of us four sat on a square table, and there was a big ass basket of fruit in the middle with all kinds of fruit, bananas, cherry, whatever the fuck, right? And we all drew a picture of it. Everyone's picture is going to be different because we're looking at it from a different angle. I see the bananas, you see the grapes. You see the apples, you see the pineapple, right? You see all the pineapple, I may see a piece of the pineapple. So the only way to really, truly paint a good picture of any subject or anything in life is just to look at it from every angle. And then you have a better perspective.
I like that.
That's
nice.
beautiful, man.
Yeah. Well said, man. Well said. Well spoken. Because
For a comedian, right?
yeah, no, just in general. Just because I mean, people always say, "Oh, it's my this, whatever, my religion," but you said that perfectly.
Yeah, and I respect every religion.
Oh, for
I
sure.
honestly do. Like if I go into a Catholic church, I do the sign of cross. I do down it. I won't take communion because I don't think that's right. But because again, I respect them, right? I respect everyone's religion because it still has to do with God. Like to me, God is one God. He's not any religion. Yeah. He's everyone's religion, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to respect people's religion the way I would want them to respect my religion if I had one, or if my spirituality if I had it. So that's the way I roll, son.
Nice. I like that.
Very nice, man.
What about aliens, UFOs, extraterrestrials? Do you believe in that? Are we the only people living or beings living out here?
We have to have other people, bro. We fucking have to. I don't think they look like the alien from the movie Alien, but I think they probably look like more like those grays with those big eyes and stuff like that.
The humanoids.
Yeah, the humanoids. But I also believe there's probably other planets where some of the aliens there look different from those, right? It's just like, I think it's like Star Trek, right? A little bit. I mean, not that exaggerated, but they all look different. And I believe the same God created all of them. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think for us to be the only people, and I forgot what the odds are. It's you can Google it. Like for us to be the only humanoids or the only humans or living
smart
creatures
species or whatever,
it's impossible. It's like it's just the numbers are too impossible.
Yeah.
You know,
that is true.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It is, right? Just if you think about it, I mean, different parallels in different universes.
Just how vast the universe is, man. It's massive. It's ridiculously huge.
We're a little speck of dust. Like we're nothing.
Even,
we're
not
nothing.
even. We're way smaller than that, man.
Smaller than that.
I know. And then, when Trump supporters hear there are more aliens than Mexicans, they freak out. They're like, what? There's more of you guys? Coming from where? No.
Who are 3 people in history, anytime in history, that you could either have a joint with, smoke a joint with, smoke a cigar, drink a beer with them, drink a wine, have a meal, just a conversation. Any 3 people in history. Right now.
Well,
like, at your age, with everything you've amassed over the years, all your knowledge, like current day, who would you want to speak
person who's alive or dead?
Dead or alive. 3 people.
Well, Jesus. I would like to maybe have wine with. I wouldn't take him to dinner because last time they took him to dinner, it didn't work out that well for him. So I think he'll be a little hesitant and go, I'll pass on that one. But he goes, I'll take it to go.
Uber Eats that shit.
But,
that reminded me of a meme I saw. It's just like Judas was like, "Hey Jesus, are you ready to go to the Last Supper?" And Jesus is like, "The last what?"
I meant it's the name of the place called the Last Supper. Yeah, it's the first selfie ever made, right? Everybody say, "Hey." I would say Jesus for sure. Okay. And that would be amazing, right? Because I really do believe Jesus was an actual person as well. Now, how son of Godish was he? I don't know. Maybe he was just very spiritual. Maybe he had, psychic abilities that people interpreted to something else. I don't know, and I don't worry about that. Like, my mind's open that it could be anything, right? But I do believe that God had kind of had his hand on him, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But it could be anything. Some people, there's a theory that Jesus was an alien.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's one of the theories
from
I've seen.
People that and I'm like, all right, I'm open to that. You know what I mean? And then a lot of times, interpretation is different. Like, even if you look at the Bible, right? If you look at different Bibles, like King James versions, Rick James versions, fucking all these different versions of the Bible, right? The meanings they say different things, and even on the same exact, the same chapters, but they say it differently, or they use this. And sometimes, I'm trying to find a good example, like back then, when they would say something about a bird, it really meant this, and we don't know that because you have to look into that and do it. So, like, I'm really big on research. I'm really big when I have a question about something, I look it up. Like, I have a page on when Trump first got in office, and again, I'm not Trump bashing. This isn't the venue for that, but I was, I have my opinions about this Trump, and I was fighting with everybody on social media, where it wasn't about comedy anymore. And then when he lost the election, I'm like, oh, thank God, it's over. And then he started coming back, and I'm like, oh, I have to say shit. I'm like, but I can't do this anymore. So I started a page on Facebook, and I don't want to mention the page because I don't be connected to that. So that I do all my politics on, and I let people fight. I fight with people, but I don't have to worry about that. It's it's on my own shit where I got to do it all the time and defend myself all the time. Sometimes I don't defend myself and let other people do it. You know what I mean? So forgot the point I was trying to make, but yeah. So it's just it's just the way people look at things, and it's. There was a point there, but anyway. So
the question was, who are the top 3 people you want to either smoke a joint with, have a meal, cigar, or whatever? No, you're good. You're good. You said Jesus was one.
Jesus was one.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Trump was 2. I'm just kidding.
No, Trump is definitely not 2. I'll do a Last Supper with him if it turns out the same way.
Yeah,
but
let's give him one of these and shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck that guy.
No, but let's see. Muhammad Ali. I actually met him once. Muhammad Ali is the only person I ever got an autograph from. I never asked for an autograph from anyone in this world except Muhammad Ali.
Wow.
Muhammad Ali, I would love to hang out with him.
Where did you meet him, if we can get into that?
Madison Square Garden. I was selling programs. I was working there. I was 16 years old, a vendor, right? and program, get your program kind of thing. And he was sitting there with a bunch of people and his wife at the time, and it wasn't even a boxing match; it was a horse show.
What
You know, the horses do the gay little hopping around and shit,
prancing
right?
around.
Yeah, they're like, hi.
You know about that, bitch.
So he was sitting there, and I feel bad because I talked to him the whole fucking time. I didn't make any money because I got paid on commission. I didn't sell anything. I think I actually gave him a free one, so I probably lost money that day. And then and I feel bad because I'm thinking now, I'm like, oh my God, I must have bugged him because he was trying to watch the show. Instead, he got this little 16-year-old Puerto Rican kid fucking asking all kinds of questions. So yeah, him. Let's see, one more other person. God damn, this is a good one. If I could bring him back to life, my grandmother.
Okay.
She died when I was 18. And now that I'm an adult and I'm wiser, and I would love to talk to her again. And I think I will. I think back in, not back, but in the afterlife, I think I will have a chance to talk to her. I think I'm going to have my dog who I love madly, who I will John Wick the hell out of anybody who hurts her. Like, I think in heaven, I'm going to be able to talk to her. We're going to be talking words. And I always tell her, we're going to talk words in heaven, Roxy. You're going to tell me whether you always kick the dirt after you take a shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so it's kind of, but I'm sure, honestly, it's probably hundreds of people I would want to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Hang out with, talk with.
All right. Did you guys have anything else before we dip out?
No. I just want to say it's really cool about the Muhammad Ali story, man. Like,
yeah, it is.
That's
pretty cool.
They got
Still have it?
No, you know what? It's probably in my mom's. My mom has all my old boxing trophies from that era of my life, my teenage era. She has all my stuff in storage. So hopefully that would be there. And I remember what it was. He signed it on. He signed it on a, when you get, like you go get your popcorn, you open up that little box thing, that little tray, cardboard tray, on one of those things. I still remember he signed that for me.
That's fucking cool, man. That's really cool.
Great. Muhammad, it was like looking at a god.
Yeah, man.
Like meeting God. Like, I'm like, oh my fucking God, look at Muhammad Ali. It was amazing.
That's awesome, man. That's
one of the best days of my life. I was 16 years old, and I still remember that.
That's cool as hell.
That is, man.
Like
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Meeting one of your legends, your heroes, I guess, in the legend book.
You said like you felt like you bugged him. I'm sure you didn't bug him, man. Like, I bet a lot of people like not stepped up to him, but were like cocky with him. Like, like people are real cocky with Mayweather, right? They're like dicks to him. So I'm sure he was.
Well, I've had that cocky. I had a boxing match once. It was a weird place. It was like a youth center or something. It was a professional boxing match. My dressing room was the public bathroom.
What the hell?
It was a bathroom everybody went into, which was fucking weird. So I got my gloves on, and my trainer left, and this fucking dude walks in the bathroom, and he starts shit with me, and I'm like, oh my, am I gonna fucking have to fight this guy before my fight? And then I'm thinking, I'm gonna take these gloves off, because if I'm gonna hit him hard, like without the gloves, right? Yeah. But luckily I don't know if somebody came and helped or whatever, but I'm like, this motherfucker, man. I'm like, what the?
See what I mean, man? Like,
yeah, just talking shit. People would always, when I was a professional boxer, people would come up to me all the time, try to talk shit. There was one time, this kid, I think he was like, I don't know, maybe 18, I don't know, whatever. He came up to me. He's like, yeah, I'll kick you out. You think you're bad? I'll kick you out. I'm like, and I'm not doing anything. I'm not starting any problems, right? And then finally I go like this. I go, okay, I'll tell you what. I'll let you hit me first. You can hit me as hard as you want. And I'm not even going to blink. What are you going to do after that? Because you better think about it. I'm going to fuck you up, bro. And he's like, walked away. And I meant it too. I'm like, bro, I get hit for a living. You think you're going to hit punch me and I'm going to fucking, bitch out? Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Oh, motherfucker. That's fucking
I'm going to fucking hit you so fucking hard. If a boxer hits you, you know it. You know, because they wake you up later.
Dude, my Theo's friend was a boxing trainer. This was years ago. I was in college. It was probably like 2021 at the time. And then he's like, hey, put the, I don't know what you call it.
Oh, yeah, it's like a pad.
Like a
body
pad, right?
pad, yeah.
So he's like, you're going to hit me, but I'm going to hit you back too. And I was like, all right, cool. So we're going. And then he's like, I'm going to do one. Block it for me. I was like, all right, cool. So I'm doing it. Dude, he hit me so hard on the side. I couldn't breathe for like 3 minutes. I thought I was going to die. I was like, like, what the fuck? I couldn't breathe, dude. I felt like I was drowning. I was like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, he fucked me up, dude. That was terrible. But honestly, when I did boxing training, that was like the best shit that I got in my life.
Oh yeah,
Quick, like
Me
you
too.
drop weight
I
fucking
was in
quick.
real
So.
good shape.
Yeah.
But
Steve,
now,
you got any other questions? Anything else you want to get off your chest? Any shows you want to promote? Anything else before we dip out?
I'll be at the comic strip tonight with Joey at 7:30. But I believe October 26th, I'll be in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Nice.
Doing a show over there at the Carino's Italian restaurant.
Oh, nice.
Corinos, Italian restaurant.
Hell yeah, dude. That's sick.
And it's actually, it's actually a lot of fun.
That's cool, dude.
Because let's face it, Alamogordo, I used to go up to Alamogordo when I was a kid because my uncle used to live up there. And I would spend the weekends up there and pop fireworks and all kinds of things. But Alamogordo shows out for that show, Joey. Like, you wouldn't mind doing it. Like,
I'll do it.
Really?
Like, it's so much fun. I'm featuring for Joe Rodriguez. He's a hilarious comedian from Las Cruces. One of my favorite guys to work with. Me and him banter each other on the internet.
Nice.
With our football teams, but yeah, no, he's one of my best friends, and you'll catch me at the strip or here at an open mic or hanging out, and I don't really have anything to get off my chest. I feel even though I'm very opinionated, I'm okay right now.
Nice. do you want to drop your socials just in case you want people to follow you or not?
Oh yeah, again, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Puga20. That's PUGA20. Same thing for the X app, and Facebook is just my name. Follow me, and that's what I need now. That's the one thing. I guess if you want me to get something on my chest, I just hate how like now I am in comedy, everything's all about the followers now. It's not really about being funny. Sometimes it's just people just want to. These clubs and these promoters and all these people want to know how many followers you have. It's not really about how funny you are. It's just, do you have the followers? Can you bring people? Which I understand. It's all a business, but I just feel like I just don't understand or like that part. And I don't know if Joey, you feel the same way or
No, yeah, of course. It's whatever. And if you want to follow me, my Instagram, it's Joey Medina Comic. That's my Instagram. And my OnlyFans is Joey's Chorizo. You can follow me there and
El chorizón.
support my chorizo pictures.
Sáquelo. A ver, ¿cuál es? Do you have any shows coming up or anything that or people can catch you? Anything?
Tonight, the comic strip, and but I do a lot of cruise ships. So if you're ever on a Carnival cruise, you might see me. I'm doing, I think, Tucson in January or February. I think it's January. And I'm not sure where else, but I'm doing LA, do some shows around in LA. So, and the good thing about comedy is like shows come up all the time.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah.
If you follow me on Instagram, usually I don't really care about Facebook or Twitter anymore.
Your Instagram was fire. You were just in Aruba, or where were you?
Yeah, I was in Aruba.
Aruba, right? Yeah, I saw that. Because
Aruba's beautiful. I went from Aruba right to here. So
yeah, you flew from Aruba to El Paso, bro. Straight
long flight, bro.
All right, so when we close out our show, we ask our guests one last question, and then we're out. So I have one, dude. I think somebody might have deleted the thing last time because I couldn't find it.
Shut up.
So the question I'm gonna ask you is: you have a coin flip right now.
Right.
Heads is $100,000, like right now. Oh no, sorry. My bad. The way I worded it was wrong. $100,000 right now to your account, wired, no questions asked, or flip a coin for $5 million. What would you do? Instantly $100,000 or flip a coin for $5 million. Or you know, $5 million or nothing, or you could just walk away with $100K right now. What would you do?
I would flip the coin.
Gambling man, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I like that.
Flip the coin.
Anything else?
Just
off the ones that we have. Because
I'll tell you why I would flip. The
coin.
Yeah,
tell us why. Tell us why.
I almost said $100,000 because I'm going. Yeah, I got 100,000 problems right now. I could probably fix with $100,000, but then I thought for $5 million I could also fix other people's problems.
Yeah,
very nice.
I like that.
I have one for you guys. You brought up Halloween or October? What's your go-to Halloween movie? Everyone, what's your go-to? Like everyone has their go-to Christmas movie.
Oh, that's a good question, bro.
Halloween movie.
I went with The Exorcist.
Oh, I mean,
Exorcist is my second favorite film of all time.
Yeah, that's my favorite horror film of all time.
Yeah,
man.
Why is that, Joey? Why is it your?
It's just a beautiful film. It's a perfect movie.
It's brilliant.
It's great.
Brilliant.
And I saw it when I was 7, like a little man. My aunt, who was 17 at the time, because to me she was always older. Then she goes, I was 17. I'm like, Diti, I go, you brought me to a fucking horror movie at 7 years old. That could have, I go, luckily it didn't fuck with me, but it could have easily fucked with me. Like, you know what I mean? That was a scary fucking movie. She's like, I didn't take you. I'm like, no, I went by myself. Of course you took me. I remember everything.
That's fucking awesome. For me, I think it would probably be Nightmare Before Christmas, just because I'm not a big horror person.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, growing up, we would watch all the Goosebumps movies. That even though it doesn't count.
No,
that's
counts,
me.
yeah.
That's for me. I mean,
I thought you say Hocus Pocus because SJP's fucking titties are popping out. I thought that's what you said.
good one,
Also,
bro.
I want to give
You know what?
I want to give a shout out to Terrifier 3. If you haven't seen it, go see it. You don't need to see the other two. It doesn't fucking matter. They're just bloody and gutty. And dude, it was a really good movie.
Nice. I'm gonna watch that shit.
It was a good movie. It was bad. It was. I don't know. I don't want to say it wasn't bad in a bad way. It was like, oh fuck.
Oh, I mean, the first one's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
That one fucking scene that everybody talks about.
Well, the first one was great. I didn't see the second one. Now I want to see the second one.
Yeah.
I saw the third one because I'm like, my girlfriend will never see it with me, so I have a chance to see it. So I'll go see it, and I wasn't disappointed. I enjoyed it.
Nice. I'll definitely check that out. All right, guys, that's it. That's been it.
Cool.
Huh?
Did you get Ghostbusters?
Oh yeah. What's yours?
What was yours?
Yeah, your
Oh, no, I
scary
was
movie.
gonna say The Exorcist.
También? Okay,
Oh,
cool.
yeah,
Fuck
That
it.
movie's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So you're missing out, bro.
Oh,
Quit being a
dude.
pussy.
You haven't seen it?
I don't watch scary movies like that, bro.
Dude.
I'm a pussy, bro.
Do you have HBO Max?
I do.
Dude.
Better.
I'll watch
I know
it.
what you're doing tonight.
I'm gonna
so
watch
you're
it during
gonna
the
watch
day though. Bright during the day. None of this
Well,
dark shit.
it was a book, and then it became a movie.
Oh, fuck that. All right. Catch me, Ray.Ruckus. Catch us, bro.monroe.show. We'll see you guys soon. Say bye. It's 915.
Oh, yeah, it's 915 Vintage, bitch.
You're
It's my
such a bad
sister's-
brother.
I'm a horrible brother. 915 Vintage, bitch is my sister's Instagram page. Please check it out.
Laters.